So this is a Samsung moisture sensor HE dryer. Not really sure the exact model number, but this is a dryer that is not heating up. We put clothes in here and it's just, clothes are still wet. After a long time of drying, they finally eventually dry, but there's just no heat in it. So I think the heating element is bad. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this apart to get to the heating element. And then we're going to show you how to check to see if the heating element is bad. We're going to give you a couple different methods you can do to check to see if the heating element is bad. And this is going to cost about 30 bucks for the heating element. And it's going to save you a ton of money to do it yourself. So a couple tools that you're going to want to have on hand is a kind of an impact drill with a Phillips head on it. Make it quicker. You can use a regular standard Phillips if you want. A multimeter so that you can test the actual sensor itself, and then a couple different pliers, needle nose pliers, pry tool, and you should be good with just those types of tools. And if you don't have a multimeter, then you can buy a cheap one at Walmart or Amazon. I'll leave links below on some of these parts, but you can usually check to see, so most of the time on these heating elements, the coil itself is broken and you can visibly check to see if it's working. So before we do anything, we're gonna go ahead and unplug this to be safe, and that's just on the back side. We're gonna unplug it from the wall and we can pull it out from the wall. Now keep in mind, don't pull out too far because on the back side, you'll have the vent connected to the vent tube that goes out to your house. So just pull it out just enough, or you can unhook the vent. And then we can pull it out from the back side here. So on this model, there are two little spots down here. We got that one right there. Let's see if you can see that. They just push in. They push in a little bit right here. And then you can get a little pry bar underneath of some sort, and then this top lid will pop off. So if you get something in there, you can press these in and then pull up on this. And what they do, you press in on it. And so what they do is they hook underneath there. Once you're done there, you lift it up, and then you have this wire right here that runs to the front. And you can just undo the wiring there, and it runs to the front here. So once we get the front off, this whole front piece off, we can get to it and unclip it. And this front piece has a screw here, a screw there, and a screw there. And then you got a screw down there and a screw there, and then a screw there. So once you remove those 6 screws, 3 up there, 1 right there, and 2 down there, you can remove this. Before you remove it, there are little tabs here. So you're gonna lift this portion up and out, and then you can undo this clip right here, this connector right here, and then you are free to remove the front portion. So now you got the drum here, and then when you remove the front face off of the drum, which includes this bottom part, so you got a screw there, screw down there, and then you got another screw right there, screw there, screw up there, screw right here, and screw on the side here. And then you got little hangers right here, 2 on each side, that this thing, front piece, just kind of hangs out. And then last but not least, you got a little cord right here you need to undo, connector. Now once they're all out, you can lift up on it. Oh, disconnect the moisture sensor first. Lift up and out. And it'll detach from the drum. Now it is 2 pieces, so it will come out in 2 pieces, so don't worry about that. So now on the drum, you have, once it goes back in place here, but you have a belt, and there's a tensioner on the bottom. I don't know if you can see it, that white wheel. The belt just goes around there to tension it. And so you'll just loosen it off of that, or take it off that white pulley there, and then the belt will be free, and then you can take the drum out. And then once it's loose, You can pull the drum out. So now we can get to the heating element, which is in here in this portion. So we have to remove that cover. So in our kit for the heating element, we actually comes with all these different sensors and whatnot. So we're gonna replace those two, might as well while we're here. Keep note where the wires are going to, what colors they are, and where they're positioned on here. So as you can see here, you got blue, and you got red down below. And then right here, you got a black or blue, and then black right here. Looks like the black jumps over to here, and then you got a black and blue over here. I would take a picture of the wiring diagram, or at least what it looks like, so that way you can put it back together the way it was. So this is the heating element right here, inside here. And there are a couple screws on the side here, and a couple screws here on the side there. And then to get this thing back out, once you pull the wires out, there's a little nipples on the sides here to get this whole connector out. So you can slide it out into the box here. And so you just take a little pair of pliers and kind of bend them the way they need to bend. So that way you can get them out. So once you get the screws out, you just lift the front of the panel up and pull backwards towards you. And there's the heating element right there. So we're gonna get that out. Move the connectors. So then you got the connectors out, and then you pull it out. So we're gonna take a look at this first of all before we test it, but you just wanna check it over and see if there's any broken coil, which on this side, it does not look like there is. So go to the other side, and there it is right there. There's a broken coil right there. It's not connected. So this one's definitely broken and dead. But you can also test it with an ohm meter or a multimeter. And since this is 2 wires, it's going to be easy to do by reading the ohms or connectivity, whatever you want to use. Or continuity, not connectivity. If it has 3 wires or 4 wires, then you need to find the common wire, and then you can test each leg of it. All right, so to test this, there's on the ohm meter, you have a horseshoe shaped, can't really see it, I'll put it on the screen though, but there's a horseshoe shaped sensor setting on here, and that's ohms, and this will allow you to take the 2 leads and connect it to the 2 ends here, and it should say, or show up with, if it's good, it should show up with a 0, and if you do the continuity test, it should beep. But if it's bad, it will show up infinity, or it'll jump around like it is right now, and then also will not beep on continuity. So when we put them together, it shows 0. That means it's good. We'll put it on there, connect them together. It's jumping around right now, and we're not good. So now we need to replace this. So here's the new one right here, and we're going to connect the wires there, and it should say 0. Whoops. There, 0. So that means it's good, which thankfully the brand new one, 0. So putting the new element in, there are holes on the heating element, and then there's holes on the lower half of the cover. And you want to line those up so when you get the top of the cover on, the screw goes through the heating element holes. So that way it locks it in place. You don't want that heating element loose. So, but before you put that cover on, you want to get those wires through the connector itself here. And it shouldn't matter which one goes where. But once you get them through, then you can bend that pin on the bottom so they're locked in place in the connector. So the top just slides in, lines it up. And once you get the screws started on the left-hand side, you can squeeze the other side to get to line up properly. So while you got it open, you want to clean out the drum area. You got all this, you can clean out all the lint and all that. You can clean out of there. Got the filter right there. Clean out just anything that has lint in it. Clean it out the best you can with a vacuum. All right, now time to put the drum in. The belt goes around the center here, and the grooves go towards the drum. And it'll slide right in here, and it just basically connects up to the back Now you need to get that pulley, or at least the tensioner, the belt on the tensioner on below, so that way it can tension the belt and spin the drum. All right, now when we get this put back in, there's some wheels on the bottom, and they go in the lip of the drum. As you can see here, they go on the bottom side though, but you gotta get those underneath the lip of the drum, so that way it'll hold the drum up. And then this piece will also connect down by the vent. All right, now to get it on, put those wheels underneath. Pick up the drum, kind of slide it in the drum area. And then you got the little hooks here on the sides. The hooks that hook in right there. And you'll know you're lined up when the holes are lined up for the screws that you took out. So you want to make sure that those wheels are underneath the lip of that drum, and it allows you to push it in. There it goes. And you can also spin the drum to make sure it spins freely, as well as the screws should all line up that we put in, or we took out. Also, don't forget the sensor down here. It's probably the moisture sensor. Make sure you connect it up to the front half. Make sure it's connected. So now you have the front half of the dryer, and so what you want to do is make sure you connect this wire up to that before you put it all the way in. So then you just push this in the grooves, and it's ready to be screwed. Now you got 3 screws at the top, and when you open the door, you got 3 more screws. And last but not least, you gotta close the top, and the edge here will go underneath on both sides. Slam it down like a hood of the car almost. What's up?
Just double checking.
Oh. And you can double check to make sure that the drum spins without any major resistance. It'll have some just because it's on the motor. So now it's all back together, and one way to check to make sure everything's good to go, power it on. We go ahead and hit play, start, and it's running just fine right now. No errors. We'll give it a few seconds to heat up. We'll go ahead and pause it real quick here. Then we can open it up. Oh, I can feel the heat now. So it is fixed. So hopefully this helped you out, and you were able to replace your heating element yourself by using this video. If you have any questions or comments, put it in the comment section down below. If this is your first time on my channel, please consider subscribing for more tech reviews, home automation, home and automotive how-to videos. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.